Good evening, Gemini. This is David with Tarot and Astrology for All, bringing you your tarot reading for the next 5 days. Now, in the process of holding up the cards for the screenshot, this is the energy that you're coming from. Now, I want to start off with the rabbit first because that's the one that first popped into my mind. And so I kind of feel like there were things in your past, like past, right? That's not your recent past. This is your past that left you anxious, maybe left you hyper vigilant. And I kind of feel that in one way or another, that balanced or imbalanced yourself. So you kind of lost that connection to source in a sense. It's like your energy was traveling downward instead of upward. But you know this deep down inside. Your intuition has already been telling you this. So that's an interesting dynamic. Now, another thing that I was focusing on too was the black and the white. Now, when I was going to draw your cards, I was prompted by source to draw three. So this high priestess has something specific about it. And I don't know why I get the word I or the pronoun I, but maybe it's because of himself. Maybe this is something that is within you. This, I feel like maybe physically you're not as anxious as you were before, but if you look at this guy's eyes, he's kind of crying. So I feel that for you, maybe this is something that made you hyper vigilant in the past. But regardless, you're starting to follow your intuition again, and so long as you do that, you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. So let's go ahead and shuffle these cards again, and then we'll go ahead and pull some out for you, Gemini. All right, so the gazelle in the reverse. All right, so I kind of feel like you guys have lost your elegance a little bit. That's kind of what I feel. You guys have lost your passion or your zest. It's almost like I kind of get like an ongoing cycle. Not sure if that makes any sense to you guys, but it's like I don't know. You still have your ears out for whatever it may have been, but I don't think you have to worry about it so much. Um, Keep an eye on it, be vigilant, but don't let it stress you out. Don't let it make you anxious. And also, the gazelle is one of those. It's one of those creatures that basically is either on the move or it stops, and it's a very very quick fashion. The moment it's up, it's running. When it stops, you know, it's more likely to sit down and or lay down. And you got the deer in the reverse. I kind of feel like whatever this is that's going on that kind of off balanced yourself has to do partly with self care and not providing that self care for yourself. Uh, uh, Interestingly enough, both of these cards are facing forward, right? If you look at them on the right side, they're both looking forward, more or less. So I feel that maybe you're just kind of like slightly looking off where you should be looking, right? And that can actually have a detrimental effect. But regardless, I feel like you're no longer floundering around. Like you have a little bit direction now, and that direction is what's going to help you to reach out to your network. I don't know why the network is something important, and um, well, source had me say it. All right, so now we move on to the fairy oracles, and let's see what the fairy oracles have to say. Ooh, you're another one of those signs that has earth and fire. So you guys are almost encompassing the whole spectrum, other than the spiritual, of course, or the divine. All right, so I feel like whatever there was a decision in your life that you had to face for whatever reason. you may have felt like you couldn't make a decision, like you were indecisive. But I feel like regardless, you made your choice now. So whatever that choice is, I would say follow through. Don't get caught like a deer in the headlights. You got to run like that gazelle. I feel like you're gonna be running here soon enough, because whenever you get the gazelle in the reverse, but you also get Indy in the reverse, that pretty much speaks volumes of having been in one spot, and then now you're moving. Now you're gone. Now you're speeding. But regardless, this decision was made based on your personal happiness and not really anybody else's. But it was a decision that was based out of unhappiness. Now, solace, regardless of whether it's upside down or whether it's right side up, is one of those cards that it shines the soul. It shines the energy from within the heart. And as you can see, he's got all sorts of these little like rays of heat or something. But he's got that look on his face. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of like a small little smirk. I feel that regardless of how unhappy you might feel right now, this decision that you made is one of those decisions that's bringing happiness and stability in the near future. So let's move on to the next card and see what else. Oh yeah, the fairy who was kissed by the pixies. This is actually a really good card to get, guys, because it adds up to 3. It's a 2 and a 1. So once more, decisions, but decisions that either have been made already or that will be made here soon enough. And what the fairies who was kissed by the pixies represents, it represents that happiness. It represents that joy that you're headed towards. It represents that community, that network that I was mentioning earlier. This is where that is. And actually, if you seek to be happy, move in that direction. You may have been heading in this direction here, but just a slight tweak to the right can send you right into the area that you need to be hundreds and hundreds of miles away. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card for you guys. I want to see what this unhappiness is about, because I feel like it's necessary. Ha! It's the lack of jumping into action, basically. And I feel like the reason why you kind of lost your elegance, Gemini, is because, well, I feel like you got bored with a certain, like, how would I say? You got bored with a certain cycle of something going on in your life. That's what I feel. It's like a cycle that was just repeating over and over and over, and that made you apathetic to life. So this is good though. This is helping you to understand that you are kissed by the pixies. In essence, you're supported by the universe, and though things may get flipped around, upside down, right side up, left, right, and you basically don't even know what direction is which, it's all good, because in the end, you have friends and you have your network too. So keep that in mind. All right, let's see what else we have going on with the Rider-Waite. So we got some cards flying out, guys. All right. So whatever this decision was, you thought about it. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, you thought long and hard. You went into hermit mode. You went within, quite possibly connecting to the conscious network, right? The universal network. Checking yourself, checking what kind of vessel you are and what you're pouring into reality, as well as what you're pouring into the universal consciousness once more. And as this card, signifies, there's a giant star right there, and whatever these wishes that you have, you made them upon a star. And so now it's time to come out of that hermit mode, Gemini, and be excited for life again. Be just because you have an ending coming up soon. You have this in the reverse, so it's delayed a little bit, but you're yeah, you're looking good. Don't worry, Gemini. You're looking good. This is a good reading right here. Just remember to provide yourself that self care. Okay, so I feel like maybe in some way you were kind of fighting with yourself, or maybe you were even fighting with other people, but it wasn't more. It wasn't fighting as much as like bickering and competing. I kind of feel, and that's what caused you to be unhappy because Gemini, if you can keep your energy balanced, you neither go all the way to the right or go all the way to the left, right? You kind of stay on that middle path. And I feel that whatever these changes were, those the whatever this quarrel was, is one of those quarrels that made you apathetic to life. It kind of just like zapped you of your willpower and your energy. But I think you realize that you can either sit and just balance these emotions, not really choosing which one, or you can make the effort to change your life and your reality. So basically, I see is that you guys need to connect to your network in order to get out of that reality and then place yourself into a more positive reality. Yeah, because I feel like you're not ready to move on yet. I feel like there's still some certain things up in the recesses of your mind, and at the same time, it's these some of these thoughts have to go. They're weighing your boat down. So make sure that you start trimming. Now, right now, it won't be the best time for love. So if you guys are dating, I would hold off on that. Your cup is not yet overflowing, and you actually have an upload. You have to upload some information to the universe. That means either wishing upon a star, saying a mantra, doing meditation, sigil work. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but that's another thing you could do. And even like taking a message, putting it on a paper, and then burning it, right? That's another thing that you can do also, Gemini. All right, so let's see what kind of energy you're going to be going into. Okay, so higher learning. You are going to be encompassing the energy of a Sagittarius. Now, I kind of feel like you are moving along with a Scorpio type energy, like not give a fuck. Um, but I kind of feel like you're being truthful regardless. So that's why relationships are an important aspect right now. You have Libra right there in dead center, but you also have Capricorn, and that's what's left over. So structure, organization, and victory, basically. Because once you follow each of the steps, victory is assured. There's no 1 plus 1 equals 4. It's going to be a 1 plus 1 will equal 2. Dead certain. All right, let's move on to the next die. And on the gazelle, we have Venus. All right, so the energy that you're going to be encompassing is kind of like a Venusian type of energy. And this energy is going to help you to see the beauty in things. I think you have already started to see the beauty of things. Some of you guys are still stuck in that little cycle, but things are going to come very unexpectedly for you, and you're going to have to use your intuition in order to make sense of all of it. So let's roll the number die and see what kind of number you're dealing with. All right, it's an upside down 3. Okay, so inner communication. Check your inner communication, right? And this ties into the energy of Sagittarius, because what's happening is that you're coming in, you're in a spot of stability right now, regardless of how you might feel on the inside. But there's big changes coming your way. You have that 12 energy right there, because like right below that, that's that 3. So you have that 12 energy right there. But what you also have is that 11 energy, and that's your intuition. That's what you got to listen to. That's the universal consciousness. And so I feel that big things will happen if you focus on that inner communication and you focus on the messages that source is trying to bring to you. So, with that, Gemini, thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. I've mentioned it in previous videos, but if you have a tarot deck um, that maybe you don't use anymore, or maybe that you would like to see me use, and I can give you a shout out both in the description and on the video itself, please feel free to message me and we can set that up. So, with that being said, thank you, Gemini. Your reading was awesome. You're headed towards something very great and quite expensive. And I hope that this happens sooner rather than later for you. So until next time, Gemini, it's David with Tarot and Astrology for All, signing out.